So we are live. Hello, 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 hello. Um, so I was so busy looking at the comments, I forgot to hit go live. So that's me. That's pretty much me being distracted and having fun as a Gemini. Welcome in. I am very, very excited. So I do have a lot of information that we're going to give you, and I think to start, I do want to say that that I purposely chose this title of, you know, this becoming the high priestess for a specific reason, because Venus made me do it. Actually, uh, what really happened is there were a bunch of things that took place, my astrology and other people pushing me, and so I got this. I don't know whether it's a message or a strong push to do a class and to start off by initiating, the pre-Venus countdown. And so I got in touch with Nat, who is one of my astrology co-conspirators, and then we both got really excited about all of this. So Venus is also making Nat do it too, and
And you.
and me, yeah, a very strong push, very, very strong push. Hey, Angie, hi, hello, everyone. So one of the things that I think is going to be very strong and has been very strong for me is we're looking at the North and the South nodes in all of this energy. And part of that is the South node going through Virgo. And I'll be touching on some of that a little bit later on, but the bigger part of that is Pluto. There are many of us that have Pluto in Virgo in our charts. And that's why I think this Venus retrograde is here to empower that particular age of women, because we are the ones that have a living memory of having to wear dresses to school, having our moms and other women that we know not being able to have a credit card without their husband's permission, or being able to use his without permission. And I even was thinking too that I remember working and having we had a dress code of women in slacks had to wear nylons and not too dangly of earrings and understated jewelry. So there's a lot of that energy that we faced. And I can also remember women having to, if they wanted to take maternity leave, had to basically quit their job and then start all over with their seniority because they decided to take 3 months off to stay at home with a child. And I actually worked with women that happened to. Fortunately, I started working in that company, and then it was like 10 years being into it that I actually had my first child. So, yeah, couldn't wear shorts to school. Feel ya. Yeah. So it's very interesting, all of this energy that I feel we have seen this and it's in our living memory. And now Venus is going to empower us to be that change in the world even more. But what I want to say about us also being pushed into getting this particular Venus class, I'm going to be doing a Venus class with Nat. I'm going to give you plenty of information today, and I will also be doing other things on the channel openly. But Nat and I are going to do a special class. It's going to be 5 weeks because 5 is the number of Venus, and it's going to be $25, $5 per class, because we both feel strongly that this is very, very important. And it's one of those things that we feel called to do, that we were chosen to do this. So let me go ahead and I'm going to pull up the chart for the new moon in Aquarius, which really got this going and was the herald of Venus had just entered her shadow, which is that foreshadowing period. So if any of you can think back to that new moon in Aquarius and anything that has come up for you as a subject since that new moon in Aquarius, which was the 29th of January, she actually started her shadow the day before, the 28th. So what has come up for you? Has it been things about money? Has it been things about love? Has it been things about your relationships with other women? Also, I will throw family in there because Mars and Cancer is also part of this Venus retrograde. They're both talking to each other. They both will hit each other 3 times. So it's also if you've had things with family come up since then. So all of that is playing into this energy. So let me go ahead and pull up this chart. And there we go. Oops. And there we have it. So this is the chart for the new moon in Aquarius that happened on the 29th of January. And so the new moon was at 9 degrees of Aquarius, right? This occurred after the first time the sun and Pluto met in Aquarius. So this was a week later. We had the sun then conjoin with the moon for the first time since it had met up with Pluto. And it went over Mercury, getting more and more information, transformational energy. And one of the things I want to point out to you is on this day, we also had Venus right here at 25 degrees, 26 minutes of Pisces. Now, we had an eclipse in Pisces. The very first eclipse for this particular axis was at 25 degrees of Pisces on September 17th of 2024. That was the day that we had that eclipse. And if any of you have had experiences around that date, this Venus retrograde is going to be hitting you most definitely again and again and again, because that degree is going to be reactivated and reactivated. But one of the things that I noted is that we have very active, and I did this for the new moon ceremony, we have very, very active asteroid goddesses at this time as well. Because on that very same day, Hecate, who is the dark moon goddess, and Vesta, who is one of the main asteroid goddesses, what is your passion? And it's also about home and hearth, but what is your passion in this 6th house of work? It's funny that this happens to be for, I did this for London, but this also happens to match my chart and Nat's chart because we're house. So we were both like, oh my God. So Hecate was square this new moon. Crossroads, the time of crossroads was here. And I didn't realize that at the time, but we were going to get more nudges from the two of them. The other thing I also want to point out is Pallas Athena, the goddess it's the Venus version of a warrior goddess and strategist. And she is in a trine to Uranus and Taurus on this day. The other amazing thing for us is that with this 25-degree Venus, we also have another goddess there at exactly the same degree to the minute, whose name is Iris. And she is also at 25, 26 degrees. Now, back on September 17th, one of the things that we were doing was we started our very first class together on that day. And I know there's some people that are probably here or who will be watching this that took that class, and it was all about asteroid goddesses. Mm-hmm. So it's like, okay, big push, big hint. We need to be doing this with Venus, who's also going to be with Mercury, and all of the asteroid goddesses that are going to be following in with this. So is that right, Nat?
Yes, that's right, Dawn. When Venus conjunct with Aries on a new moon day, it sparked the frequency where you received the inspiration, and I experienced the crazy synchronicity that day. And we both received the message, and now we have a mission to tell others, right? So I'm imagining these classes are not just about learning, but it's about experience and going through the journey together. like all of us together. Becoming the high priestess of our own means like personally building a relationship with the divine source. And so you can receive direct messages, healing energy, or answer you need directly from the divine source by developing and practicing the tools to connect. So when I was thinking about this class, I was meditating for meditation.
I just put you back up so they can see.
Okay.
Do I need to go back to the?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
Like kind of just like asking Venus, like, how do you want us to share our messages? And she just gave me a vision. I saw the night sky, like window through my crown chakra. So, and I went back to the new moon. And so Venus must have been like in the evening sky. And I saw the Venus very bright. And then there was a flash of light, and that was a conjunction with Iris. And that light casted the rainbow bridge. The Iris is the goddess of rainbow and divine messenger of light, and created this rainbow bridge that stretched from the divine realm down to us. And then she came gliding down the rainbow, and she was holding a cup of water. And as soon as she came to us, she started pouring the water over us, and we just let soak in the water. And the water contains a Venus, a message from Venus. And then, not that I was told, but I was seeing that message will unfold as we having this class together. And so at the end was passed to become high priestess of our own. So as we go over this Venus retrograde, more we learn about it, the energy, the astrology, the mythology, like more we can tune into it and receive the message, and the message will come to us individually in a unique way. So, yeah.
And I think also being able to, one of the things, let me put us both up here, Nat. One of the things that Nat has always been exceptional about, and she's my go-to person for rituals. And if any ritual that I do, if she hasn't written it, she has had a large influence on it. So she has different things that she wants to do with, having an initiation ritual of, when we start the class, and we're going to be doing that starting March 3rd. We'll do it on Monday nights. So we're going to encourage people to do practices every day to bring that into their own personal space in their own personal way. Because we feel that that is part of what we're supposed to be doing in this journey with everyone. So let me cover a few more things and then I think Nat's going to tell us a little bit later on as well how to set up a sacred space to start out with the people that are just here tonight and learning how to do things. So that is very important to have your own space. So let me go back to single person here. Hey. So one of the things that this astrology of Venus retrograde on steroids is really about is the empowerment of women and self. So each person to follow this journey, you need to look where Pisces and Aries are in your chart. What houses do they rule? If you don't know a lot about astrology or you don't have your birth time, you can still utilize the fact that the day of your birth will still tell you where the sun was and the degree, Mercury and the degree, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. And those degrees are going to be talking with both Venus and Mars. And Mercury as well is part of this retrograde because Mercury's retrograde fits inside Venus's retrograde. Venus starts first and she ends last. So in between, Mercury will start that retrograde on March 15th. So if you have anything between, I would say, Aries 10 degrees back to 24 degrees of Pisces, any personal planets, any personal points, those are the first things that are going to get those very, very special lessons for you. So those are the things that I would look at first in your chart. What do you have at those degrees? Then what we'll be doing, and we'll touch on this also in the spiritual view astrology. We'll touch on some of the stuff, what is square, what, when, so that you have an idea, and then you can look at your own chart and see that. But again, you don't have to know your birth time to know how it's talking to maybe your sun is at 25 degrees of Cancer. Well, okay, you're going to have things trine that energy, and that's going to be helpful energy for you. So that'll help you bring some of that energy out. We're going to have a pileup in Pisces. The sun in its transit is going to be entering Pisces, and we're going to have that new moon at 9 degrees of Pisces on February 27th. That is a couple days, like 2 days before Venus starts her actual retrograde energy. So that is very important in what's going on. Do you have anything to add to that, Nat?
No, I'm pretty nervous. So
I will tell you that Nat, I'll just pop you up here a second. Nat said to me, because I said Venus was making us do this, she says, and you are making me do this too, because her getting out in getting on stage. So really give her love here because she rarely does this.
yeah.
And I'm encouraging her to do this more because she's so gifted as an astrologer that I really love her insights. So we will definitely be getting more and more information from her. And again, and I know Marsha with Salty Mama, Nat does a free newsletter, and she has amazing insights. Actually, you had a card spread in the one today. I saw that you had a card spread in today.
Yeah,
so that was really good.
I made that card spread like a few years ago on the Pisces season, I think.
So she makes up her own stuff. This is our ritual person, Nat, who does her own thing. So yeah, she's just completely amazing.
But I want like everybody to do this, like to just connect like a direct line, like have established a direct line, pull down the message.
Right. And I think we also talked about having people have like, if they have cards, like if they have, because some people know a little bit about tarot, but some people use oracle cards more. And those spreads that Nat has can be used with oracle cards, and the messages that you get are so amazing. So that's part of what we'll be doing is, teaching you how to get those messages yourself and empower yourself in. So let me go on to a little bit more here. So every once in a while, I'll pull you back in, Nat, because I'm trying to get you comfortable doing it. It's only out of love.
Yeah, be gentle with me.
Okay, so let me go back here to, I want to talk about, I really want to talk about the nodes. And so not only do we have this extremely great opportunity because Venus is exalted in Pisces. Talk about the perfect time to become a high priestess. And one of the amazing things is that we are also going through what'll be happening during this time is we will be having 2 eclipses during the Venus retrograde. And the north and the south nodes are both talking to Venus. So the north and south nodes, a lot of the times, well, not a lot of the times, always are our collective lessons. So even if you don't have your personal nodes in those signs, you're still getting the lesson, because that's fated energy. What do you need to learn? And if you have planets that those nodes are going over, like Pluto, the south node, sometime in the next 18 months, Pluto's going to get hit. That will be huge transformative lessons for you about you coming forth and getting your own power, getting your own magnetism. So the south node is really a lower vibration of in Virgo, of being self-critical and maybe overcommitting yourself to other people and being of service to the detriment of self. So I'm going to quote a really great astrologer, Christopher Witecki, when someone had asked him some questions about the South Node. And I love what he said about this. We were told to ignore ourselves and pay attention to TV or to parents or to authority, to ignore ourselves and pay attention to them. And I can't think of anything more Virgo South Node than that. The way he said that, I was like, oh, that is just Virgo South Node. So he had some words of wisdom for that. If you are feeling neglected, you are ignoring yourself. And to me, that was a really big one, right?
Right.
For us, we need to really be of that energy of giving to ourselves. And I'm going to pop you back up here, Nat, just so you get used to it. I'm going to try and get her to teach some things too. So, but that is that energy. That is that energy of not taking care of ourselves. And there's another couple quotes here, because what he said, it just resonated with me so much. If you are feeling overwhelmed by what is happening in the collective, and we're coming up on that energy, and it's going to be even more so. If you are feeling overwhelmed by what is happening in the collective, you are not paying enough attention to yourself. And you should focus on the direction that you wish to go in. And if others want to follow, they may take a little while, but they'll eventually catch up. So I think that what we're being asked to do at this time coming up, and I think we'll know it for each person because of when the South Node hits our Pluto, or when it starts affecting our Pluto and our other planets, especially for those Virgo South Node people. I think we are being called to be leaders at this time. And right now we're just holding space because we need to take care of ourselves and learn how to take care of ourselves and be that magnetic power. Because the only thing that I think will change the outcome of things is, yes, you can disagree with what is happening, but more importantly, you can say, oh, I'm not doing it that way. I'm doing it this way. So you're changing the narrative of not just being a protester against what is happening, which I feel is an important thing to do, but you're giving that energy, instead of being just fighting against something, you're giving the energy to what a solution is. And that's where your energy should go as a high priestess, right? That's where your energy should go. And each one of you is going to figure out what that energy is for yourself, because you can have multiple gifts. You're not just a tarot card reader or, just an empath. There are different levels of different gifts that you have, and they're opening up more. No one was more surprised than me to realize with my astrology and everything else that I am supposed to be teaching this Venus class, and that I'm supposed to do it with Nat because her and my chart are like this.
Right.
Which is why we did the asteroid class.
The synchronicity is crazy.
Yeah, our stuff is just so Nat's we have an astrology group that we study with. She's a much better studier than her because I'm like way behind on the book that they're going over. I'm a bad studier, so they're like way ahead on some Hellenistic stuff with Demetra George, and so but the things that she brings in regarding empowerment and teaching, and she gets her own special messages in. She's got a bunch of stuff at 0 degrees of Cancer.
No, you too, though. You
Well,
carry the photo.
so it's definitely that energy of, yeah, you've got 0 degrees of Cancer though. So she's going to get all those 0 degrees Aries, Saturn. Yeah, we'll all be
my Cancer.
Yeah. What do you have at 0 degrees? Because you have a bunch. What's the 0?
Mars, Sun, Venus, 0 degrees Cancer, and Hecate, 1 degrees Cancer.
So Mars, Venus,
yeah, and Sun.
And Sun at 0.
Well, I guess technically, Kazumi, like Mars, Venus, Kazumi.
Of course. And then you have Hecate at 1 degree. So, and on my ascendant, I have Hecate on, with 1 degree of my ascendant. So we have a lot of, that's why the goddesses in our charts, in both our collective, in each of our charts, are very loud in different places. Hecate is loud for both of us. And the fact that Hecate on the new moon in Aquarius was square says we got to do this. So the other thing, let me touch back because I'm getting sidetracked because I think this is so cool. We really want to also look at the fact that the Virgo South Node, Virgo is ruled by Mercury. Mercury is not happy in Pisces. It's its least happy place. It's difficult conversations, different ways of thinking, different belief systems. We're going to have, with Mercury in Pisces, there could be a lot of deception because, there's Neptune, or not even so much deception, but very unclear news and things coming in. That's why one of the things that I feel we're being told to do is, for right now, if you're getting wound up with the collective and you're feeling like you're being overwhelmed, you are not paying enough attention to yourself, because you are going to be controlling what you're going to be putting your energy into. And the astrology is very clear that what needs to be broken down is going to happen. But I will say this, that I've noted with other astrologers, is that although the collective astrology looks really strong, it's not dire, but it is strong and it's busy. But personal charts actually look really good. I mean, the people that I've looked at their charts and have been interpreting their charts, it actually has been very helpful for them. It actually opens doors for them. I think more opportunities are going to be open for them. So we want to look at the fact that Mercury is going to be having a hard time. And whenever Mercury is retrograde and whenever Venus is retrograde, and I know, Nat, you can say this too, we run into people coming back into our lives, right? Venus, it can be old relationships of lovers, old boyfriends. Again, with the Venus, it also can be relationships with other women. But by this time, you should have been taught by the Libra South Node to have boundaries. Cancers, Libras, Virgos, you are the world's greatest friends, but you do not have good enough boundaries when it comes to other people. And this is part of what your energy needs to be doing during this time, right? So what else do we have going on with this energy? So we have Venus exalted in Pisces. Favorite place to hang out. She is the queen here. She is the high priestess, right?
Yeah.
Now,
smile all day, having a sweet and beautiful flowers, arts, and music, and she just dance all day. And she look at herself in the mirror and admire herself. That's what she's doing.
Sign me up for that. I want to do that. I want to have that.
Yeah, but like I feel like Venus gets tired of doing that because she always wants more. Like, what's more for me?
Well, I think too, what we're also getting with this Venus, with her being exalted, she's getting that higher connection boost with Neptune.
Mm-hmm.
She gets it twice with Neptune. She's already had one with Neptune, and the North Node. She's being pushed, just like we were being pushed. She's being pushed to where she should be going. You
Right.
will all get that. You will all get that too.
Yeah.
You will be pushed to where you need to go. Surprise, surprise. We were very surprised that this happened the way it did.
Venus wants what Venus gets.
Yes. Yes. Whatever Venus wants, Venus gets.
Right.
Yes. So with her also touching the North Node, because she will touch the North Node 3 times, all in Pisces, where she's exalted. That is really good. Neptune, she touches Neptune twice in Pisces. So she's getting those downloaded messages. If she has not, I think once she has gotten past her retrograde and she is getting, I want to say you have to be careful of Neptune and Pisces, because if you're on that lower vibration, I don't think anybody here is really on that lower vibration, but some people that have not been learning their lessons can get involved with, addiction, I'll have a glass of wine. I don't want to deal with my problems, vague. I don't know what to do. And although I think we've gotten some of that energy of not knowing what our specific task is, because Neptune has been in Pisces, I think once the final time Neptune and Venus touch, they will do it in Aries. And that's right around the same degree of where the Venus star point will be, and right around the same degree where Pluto and Venus will be meeting, right? So we have all this energy, and Pluto being, Darth Vader, your fairy godmother in disguise. He, I think, is doing that tough love thing because she actually meets him 3 times in Aries, where she's not at her strongest. But I think she's going to come out.
I'm sorry, who did you say?
Pluto? Sextile to Pluto. I'm sorry.
Okay, sextile.
Sextile to Pluto. So that's helpful energy, but
right.
Pluto being Pluto.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean. So that energy of she will have found herself and have done her dark night of the soul, which is very much, Venus retrogrades are very much like the story of Persephone and Hades. Mm-hmm. And Pluto is Hades. So he's actually going to give her heck before she gets back into Pisces. So she's going to get it in Aries once, and then in the retrograde. So he's not going to be very nice. And then she's going to have to go through all of her stuff. I mean, there could have been words said. Mercury is going to be in there. So there's a lot that's going to happen. I don't want to mislead you that this isn't going to be work. It is going to be work, especially with Mercury involved in this whole retrograde period and not being happy. Mm-hmm. So there's going to be, I think, a lot of conversations that you are not going to like having. I guarantee it. I think that Pluto, when she comes back out, is going to be, basically that'll be that connection where she's got her magnetism back. Now Pluto isn't controlling things anymore. It's like getting rid of that South Node, Pluto Virgo energy. You've gotten rid of that. You have your boundaries. It's not like you're not willing to help people, but you're sitting at the table, not serving the table. Sitting at the table, not serving the table. That's Virgo energy. And Virgo is also priestess energy. Very much so.
Right.
And don't you think Virgo, because it's an earth sign and very organized and mutable, is about getting things done. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So if there are natural disasters, you want a Virgo around, because things will get done. They'll make a list of whatever's available to use as assets, and then it'll be go time, right? So there are very strong things in Virgo that you can utilize, but a lot of it is also getting your own authority, taking your own authority. Who says I can't be a high priestess? Who makes that determination? I do. I make that determination, right? Venus
Right.
told me I could, right? So there is that energy. There's all of that energy in there. So what else do we have going on with this? I think the fact that we have just really incredible timing of everything, because we had the nodes change.
Mm-hmm.
Then we all of a sudden Virgo, with the South Node being in Virgo, we had stuff happening right away in the first part of January. All these things were happening, and there are things that are going to be continuing to go forth. But I think that what we can do is basically allow people to get their own self-worth and what really matters to them, and where they feel called to go, because I think a lot of this is about people getting into the energy of where they are called to go. Yeah, I think Nat and I can both say that we have been doing different things in astrology, and we have had different things show up, and we know our astrology and things that happened in our life and why they happened, and we can tell all that. But the fact that we both feel that we were pushed into this as a divine task to do
Mm-hmm.
this, we both feel it, and it's showing up in our astrology that way. So I do think that everybody will at some point really realize, oh, this is the thing. This is one of the things, because it's not just one thing, because once you complete one task, they'll give you another.
Right.
That's
Right.
how it works. So I think,
Yeah.
Nat, you wanted to talk about how to set up a special space.
Yeah. Before that, the Learn Love Tarot, she said 0 degrees, 30 minutes sun in Cancer. So we must have the same birthday. But I'm born in Japan, so maybe, I'm a day ahead. But we're gonna do like happy solar return together.
Yeah, happy solar return. Yeah. And you're both going to get all that really great energy from
Jupiter.
well, Jupiter is going to be fabulous for you guys right away. You have the 0 degrees Saturn and 0 degrees Neptune. And I think a lot of people are going to get clarity when Venus hits Neptune in Aries. Some of the things that you're like, but I don't know what to do, but I don't know what to do. And then it's like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Because I think that's important, but I'll let you go on.
Okay, so how to set an altar? Okay, so if you never done this, like a lot of people might be like intimidated to do it, but it's actually really just easy and just fun, and just really use the intuition to just bring in something that you are called to. Generally, like if you are thinking about saying an altar for Venus, the color is for her is a green or like maybe white, and I like a fuchsia type of a pink, or maybe soft pink too, like rose quartz. Like when you associate with Libra Venus, I feel like a soft pink or like a pink. But when I like associate with Taurus Venus, I feel like emerald, because that's kind of like a maize, a birthstone, and the green, like the intense, like legal kind of green, is really suits Venus. And yeah.
Do you use crystals too? Because I believe you use crystals when you're setting up your altar.
So you can technically use anything, but usually I bring kind of crystal that's kind of like associated with the energy, or you kind of feel the energy like for like if you have a bunch of crystal, maybe you just kind of go around and feel the energy, and maybe like kind of like feel the magnetic field, or you just go with the color, or something like that. Like you just pick intuitionally, and then candle is a big thing. But for Venus, you can draw or do like a watercolor, or really, I don't know, maybe I'm not helping too much. So I don't have any guidelines.
Let me put it this way, not a drawer, not a watercolor, but I do have actually, what I did is I have something that is a from passed down to my family. It's from my family about 4 or 5 generations ago, and it's a little kind of a desk type thing, where you would usually put the water basin. And so that to me symbolizes a family altar in a sense, because it's handed down from my family. And on it, I have a very pretty painting, small little painting that I bought. And I do have some candles, and I have a lot of my favorite crystals there, which I rearrange whenever I feel like it. So it doesn't have to be what it is, it's things that matter to you that make you feel good. And I also rotate my cards through there, because I have selenite moons and other selenite things there that I put my cards on, and to help cleanse them. And so there's different things that you can do with it and switch it out. Sometimes you can put your favorite perfumes or something on there. That would be a very Venus type thing to do and you can change it, seasonally. It's what is important to you, what feels good to you. Do you want to celebrate yourself? Maybe it's the time of your birthday, right? So then you want to maybe pay attention to what's going on in that season, and what is happening in the sky. Like Jupiter, when Jupiter goes into Cancer, party, right? The entire time, because it's exalted. So I think those are the things that I have taken from Nat, as far as, and I have little bells, right?
Oh, that's so nice.
Oh, and Laura put up there perfumes and jewelry for Venus, which is, that's a great idea. Great idea. Oh,
and you can give an offering, like you can put like a tea and cake, or you can do incense, you can do oil. And I guess my Virgo friends would hate my direction, because I don't have no set guidelines. And when I do like a setting, like I just do like like intuitively. So I really don't remember how that come about. Like I just go to the like a state, and when I come back, it's all set. So
well, and Nat is one of those, because she has a very higher connection. Where's your Mercury at, Nat? I can't remember. Where's your Mercury?
Conjunct ascendant in the Gemini.
Of course.
With Urania.
With Urania, astrology. Yeah, like I said, we both have very strong asteroid goddesses in our chart. And Ed is here. He's one of them that took the goddesses classes and stuff. So it was great to see him. See, he recognizes you, Nat. And your newsletters. So that is really that is the energy that we wanted to really present to you of what was going on, because we want to get this as we're getting ready to go through some huge movement in astrology and in the sky. You can still see Venus right now. I saw her earlier on, and she is starting to get lower in the sky. She's still out. You can still see her.
Wow,
So
it's cold to go out.
She's
I miss looking at the sky.
I love it.
It's so cold.
Yes, very cold. Nat is in Columbus, Angie. So that's who's in Columbus. Yeah. So you can see Venus at night. You can see some of the other planets at night. It's take advantage of all of that is going on. But we're just planning on really getting this started. I will touch on some of the astrology with Spiritual View on the Spiritual View lives, so that you'll be getting that with them as well. We'll be doing that. And I'll be doing the new moon in Pisces and setting those intentions with you. It's going to be very powerful. We're going to be doing it, especially since we're going to be doing it, we'll be able to do it within an hour after it perfecting. Yay. So think about those things, because that'll be on the 27th. But we wanted to just say, we're going to be starting this on March 3rd. We're still trying to figure out which place what software we're going to be using, right? We actually have, I love Nat. She's already got classes drawn, what we're doing for each class is already drawn up. So we've got that part done. But we've done it in different venues where we've actually done our classes. So we'll start that on Mondays, and that'll be starting March 3rd. And that'll be for 5 weeks. So, but we are really excited about it. We don't want to charge very much. It's going to be just
really quick. March 3rd is a girls' festival in Japan.
What festival?
Girls, like for the girls. So like it's a cherry blossom, and the girls always dress up in a kimono.
Oh.
There's a celebration for the girls.
Okay, so that is, well, I know that we have some other things going on. I'll have to check on the astrology and stuff too. But there's so many things going on. So we do want to say that we're going to be doing that, and what we're going to be doing is covering the astrology, but also getting the sense of taking care of yourself, because I think with your getting this higher connection, that's what we want to promote, is you getting that higher connection, because you need to, in order to know what you're supposed to be doing, you need to learn how to listen. Hard for me sometimes, Gemini. So, but we just really wanted to say that. So if any last minute questions for anybody, that would be great. But we will certainly be providing you more information. And we wanted to make sure that you realized how important that this time was. And it's being very, very loud, and it's exceptional. We are going to really take charge, especially those of us who have that Pluto Virgo energy. Mm-hmm. We've been under that control for a very, very long time. And it's taken a lot, and a lot of really, really hard lessons to come out of that. But I can really say, because I'm one of those that is still in the process of learning the lessons, it has been worth every bit of it. And I'm so happy that this is something that I would never imagine that I would say that, oh, I know that I'm supposed to do this. This is it. This is one of those things. I know this is it. So I thank everybody for showing up here today. Nat, do you have any last words that you want to offer?
I'll be practicing my speech.
I will tell you, Nat is just incredibly insightful. We'll also provide information. I will try to get you information on the new moon in Pisces. I'll make sure that you get information on her newsletter and stuff, because it is great. Great information. She comes up with new stuff all the time, and just the imagery that she comes up with in her brain, she's just amazing. So that's why I'm like, the second I was like, Venus is making me do this, I gotta call Nat. She's gonna do this too. I need Nat. So
Venus, okay, I would do
it. Yeah. I knew Venus would talk her into it. So thank you very much, all. I really appreciate that you showing up here, and I will look forward to seeing you all, Spiritual View people, and also on my channel. And love to everyone for the support that you've shown me today.
Yes, and thank you so much. I feel so welcomed.
Okay, we will see you soon. I'll get her back on my channel, I promise. Not just for classes, but I'll get her back on my channel. Okay. Good night, everyone. Good night.
Bye.